Thank you very much.
Thank you, Suzanne. Good morning, fellow Rotarians of our great District 7080. Every time we start CLT is this wonderful opportunity for all of us to get together and to learn a little bit more about Rotary leadership. And who is better to lead this effort than, or to welcome you all than our incoming District Governor, Sandy Amaini. And usually we have like a 3-page bio and so on to introduce the incoming district governor, tell you all about them and so on. And so I'm going to be quick about this. It might take about 10 minutes, but kidding aside, I've been working with District Governor-elect Sandia for many years during her preparation, and even before during my preparation, where I had the opportunity of being trained by her. And this is the great thing about our district, is that even once you're a district governor, you get the opportunity to be trained by the district governor-elect or by a president of a club or by just a general Rotarian. District Governor Sandia is a member of the Rotary Club of Burlington North. She's been a Rotarian for 12 years, and she served as president in 2016 and 2017. Shortly after joining Rotary, Sandia joined the District 7080 training team. Her most enjoyable moments were in the visioning program, helping numerous clubs to develop their visions and strategic plans. As a proud supporter of our foundation, she's especially passionate about projects, both local and international, that seek to improve education and literacy. Sandia works for Sun Life in Human Resources, where she leads a team responsible for delivering the company's global HR technology initiatives. She's the eldest of 4 siblings, a daughter of a Rotarian and a Rotarian wannabe, currently dating a Rotarian, and the proud aunt of a spectacular future member, her almost 2-year-old nephew. In her spare time, Sandia enjoys cooking and all sorts of dishes, baking up a storm, and I can attest to that, and hiding out with a good book. And being around Rotary for, I would say, during her personal life as well, makes her an exceptional Rotarian as well. So let's give a warm welcome, a warm 7080 welcome to District Governor-elect Sandia Amaini.
Thanks, Rudy. Good morning to everyone who has joined us today, and thank you for choosing to spend your Saturday with us. My plan for our time together is to share my perspective on the year ahead of us and to introduce you to our theme this year, which is Imagine Rotary. To get things started, I'd like to begin by sharing a personal experience, which, while small, was nonetheless significant in my Rotary journey. A few years back, I donated to my club's foundation. Like some of you, I have a corporate matching program where my company will donate the same amount on my behalf. So I logged into the system and off I went, searching for my club's foundation as an eligible organization in our tool. I searched high and low, but to no avail. I could see other clubs listed and also saw our foundation listed. And I thought, well, maybe it's just a glitch. And it turns out that it was, but I digress. I happened to bump into a member of our philanthropic programs team later on in the day and took the opportunity to share my experience with her. I was fully expecting her to say, well, that's odd. Rotary should be on that list, seeing as they are one of the top-rated charities by Charity Navigator and do amazing things in the community. In fact, I just heard about the scholarships that they gave to high school students in my community. Okay, all right, maybe I wasn't expecting her to go quite that far, but you get my point. I thought she would have at least known about us and our work. So you can imagine my surprise when her first question was, what's Rotary? Followed by, oh yeah, they meet for dinner or whatever. Well, they wouldn't be eligible for giving. I was floored. Here was someone who was in touch with the philanthropic world and knew about us, but didn't actually know who we were what we did, or why we mattered. I know her to be an extraordinarily smart woman and informed, and her lack of knowledge was as much about her as it was about us. At the time that this happened, I felt pretty darn sad and upset. I was sad because the perception of our organization was so off. While fellowship and fun are a large part of our DNA, our organization does amazing work on the scale of the United Way and Salvation Army and the like. People know those organizations. We support those organizations, and people don't wonder what they do. Heck, we started the campaign to eradicate polio around the world, a disease that few people even know about today, because we, you, me, and your fellow Rotarians rallied around it. We fundraised and put drops in children's mouths so that vaccines could reach millions of children and protect them against being paralyzed. Yeah, you, me, and your fellow 1.4 members of Rotary did that. We had a ton of fun doing it, but it wasn't a social activity. And if you think about the magnitude of what we are this close to finishing, it's astounding. I also remember being upset because I knew that around me, just around me alone, over 1,400 members of Rotary and then about 50 clubs in our district were doing extraordinary work, serving meals to those that had fallen on hard times, making sure there were tree-filled parks to enjoy, or funding seniors programs for their communities. And word of how our actions were making a difference wasn't getting out. I'd love to think that my experience in this instance was a one-off, that I just happened to bump into the person who didn't know what Rotary was about. But I know it's not true, mostly because the blank look or look of curiosity is often the look when I tell people about Rotary and my involvement with our great organization. It was this experience and one similar to it that created my aha moment, that shaped what I see for our future and how I imagine Rotary. I realized then and continue to realize now that we have an opportunity, a huge opportunity to tell people more about Rotary. But not just an opportunity to tell them about Rotary at face value, but like really tell them about Rotary, to tell our stories about who we are, what we do, and the difference we make each and every day in our communities and across the globe as people of action. You and I know that we are in the business of changing lives with compassion, expertise, camaraderie, and thoughtfulness. We come together to provide hope to those that need it the most. From starting schools in Guatemala to ensuring food safety in our communities, to providing clean water in Uganda, to providing life-changing scholarships to students, just to name a few. We have so much to be proud of and to share. And it is my belief that there is no better a time than right now to be extraordinarily proud of all of our achievements and to share the stories of our success, all in an effort to ensure that we are better known. I know that some of you can resoundingly say, Sonia, I'm already doing this. I'm telling people all about the great work that we do and how Rotary matters to me. And for that, I'm extraordinarily grateful, because you are helping to achieve one of the first things that I dream about, which is to make sure that people know all about Rotary and that we are recognized as a household name. If you aren't quite yet saying resoundingly, I've got this, that's okay. I invite you to dig deep into your Rotary experiences and remember the times that you've been a part of changing someone's life, making an impact that would not have been if not for your hard work and efforts, and to start telling that story. Tell the stories that people can connect to, that tell them about what Rotary really does and how you've made a difference. With any luck, because you tell your story, it might encourage someone else to participate in something that not only gives them the opportunity to enrich the lives of others, but has the potential to enrich their own. To that point, as I prepared for this morning's session, I realized that there's a little bit of our vision statement that is underemphasized. It's this bit. It's this bit. It's the bit that suggests that not only are we in the business of changing others' lives through Rotary, but our experience with it is meant to change our own. Our experiences with Rotary will each be unique and will morph over time. But these things aside, our experience with Rotary is meant to make a difference to each of our lives, as well as others. For me personally, Rotary started as a place where I could use my skills of project management and facilitation to serve my community. I got great joy out of seeing projects and events come to fruition and learned a great deal from experts and mentors in the training space, some of whom are sitting here today. It helped me grow as a leader, not only in my club, but also at my company. As my journey has continued, Rotary has provided me with something completely different to when I first started. Things like lasting, meaningful relationships and insightful experiences, like serving soup to 100 homeless people in Hamilton every Saturday. Rotary has literally introduced me to people and things that have entirely changed my life and my perspective on what counts. And for that, I'm extraordinarily grateful. While Rotary's presence in my life has changed over time, what's been the constant in my journey is that regardless of how I have chosen to serve and change the lives of others, my involvement with Rotary has never ceased to add value and enrich my own life. I sincerely hope that this is a truth for many of you as well. As Rotarians who have taken on the responsibility for taking your club forward this year, or if you are here because you are interested in taking on a leadership role in your club in the future, you have a special role to play to ensure that your members and those that interact with your club get the utmost value from their experience with Rotary, and that Rotary remains an important part of their lives. Whether your mandate is to make decisions about which projects your club will participate, organize how your club functions, connect the dots between people's passions and Rotary opportunities, ensure the work of your members can be amplified through grants, ensure that your club is safe and in good standing, or whether it's to decide how to coordinate the next fundraiser, or ensure that your members and potential members' needs are met, or whether it's to maintain and enhance your club's image, or whether it's to serve your club as president, making sure it all comes together. Each of you has the special task of making sure that what you do is what your members need and want, so that they and you have the most fulfilling Rotary experience. My question to you is, what will you do to make sure every member's experience, including your own, is the best that it can be, so that you'll have the best stories to tell when asked, "What's Rotary?" As you move ahead, few other club leaders will have to navigate what you will have to, which is to keep Rotary at the forefront of our members and community's minds, as their time and energy is also spent on continuing to deal with an ever-changing pandemic, change perspective and circumstance for some, and horrendous conflict around the world. To help, I offer you some things to think about, a way to imagine what could be. As you approach the next week or so of training sessions, and you reflect on the things that you do or will do, and think of what you can do, I will share with you what I shared with the president-elects in this room, and to whom I apologize for repeating myself. And that is to encourage you to ruthlessly challenge the status quo, not in the spirit necessarily of making copious changes, but rather to test whether what you are doing as a club and as a club leader makes sense, and most importantly, whether you are putting your members and the participants of your club at the center of what you do. So here's what I encourage you to keep top of mind now and in the year ahead of you. First, does what you do and how you do it make people, be that members or participants in your programs, awesome at what they do? Do you create awesome and valuable experiences that people want? Do your members and participants feel cared for? Do they feel included, and are they comfortable because of what you do? Is there a way to do what you do in a less complex way, with less effort for the same results by taking a different approach? Does what you do and how you do it respect and protect people's time, information, reputation, money, health, and relationships? Is it safe? And lastly, can people try new things and learn blamelessly from their mistakes? So much has changed around us, and so much will continue to change. And it's time to really focus on the things that matter the most. As I suggested earlier, there is no better time to tell our stories. And similarly, there's no better time to double check the relevance of what we are doing, to ensure that we continue to deliver value, and to imagine Rotary and how it can be the best experience possible for our members, our beneficiaries, our partners, our prospective members, and our communities. One that continues to create lasting change for everyone we touch. You've heard me note imagining Rotary numerous times this morning, and I'm pleased and proud to share that thinking about the art of the possible for our future is our theme for the upcoming 2022-23 Rotary year. Imagine Rotary. Rotary has some great bones. We have always upheld our important values of fellowship, integrity, service, diversity, and leadership. We stand by the four-way test and our commitment to service above self. In fact, without these solid foundations, we can't build towards a better future. Imagining Rotary doesn't mean changing all the things that make us fantastic. It means evolving them. As RI President-elect Jennifer Jones shared, the idea of imagining Rotary gives us the opportunity to dream about the things that we can achieve that will make us even better, and to know that by being a part of Rotary, what you imagine as an individual, what you dream of as one person, can be a reality. That's a ton of space to work with, and I hope that every single one of you here today will take advantage of the opportunity to dream about how Rotary could be an even better Rotary tomorrow. And most importantly, the role that you have in shaping that future, starting right at home in your clubs. As I may have mentioned, now that I think about it, I don't know that I did. I'm not going to take up the full hour. I hope that you'll stay back to talk to me about the ways in which you imagine Rotary. Before I wrap up, I would like to invite you to join me back here in a week on Saturday, April 9th. I think I might have the wrong date, where I'll be sharing more news on 2 campaigns that we'll be launching for all clubs to participate in to help make the dreams that I've shared today a reality. Stay tuned. That said, if you've got ideas right now, please, again, stay back and chat. Our district training team and facilitators have worked very hard to make sure that the program you will experience today and this coming week is rich and filled with valuable information to help support you as you take on or explore a leadership role in your club. The program has been designed so that you don't miss out on anything you are interested in. Please make sure to take full advantage of your time together with your fellow members of Rotary. I'd like to close by saying a big thank you to those involved in making this upcoming week a reality. I'd also like to say a big thank you to each one of you. A vibrant club is not only made up of passionate members, but extra passionate members like yourself that take on just a little bit more responsibility so that your club continues being wildly successful in everything they do. Thank you. Thank you for your time today. And thank you for your commitment to imagining Rotary in the future.
Thank you, Sandhya. Excellent presentation. And I've known you for a number of years now. I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Congratulations. Now, I'm the one that's monitoring the chat room today. If you have a question that you'd like to put out there, I ask you to put into the chat box to my attention, Brian Bennett. Just say, I have a question, and then I will turn to you and ask you to unmute yourself and ask your question. Any questions there, anybody?
Hey, Vijay.
Yeah, thank you. I don't have a question, but I have a suggestion to, if it's okay, if you want people to imagine Rotary, I know that we have been doing great work over so many years. If my suggestion would be that if we always wear the Rotary pin, I know that we wear that only at the time of meetings, and if we wear the pin always, it gives somebody thought as to what is it. They'll become a little anxious, and if they don't know, at least they will ask you, and then you can tell what Rotary is. I think that's my suggestion. If that's okay, we should, and then people will start thinking about Rotary.
Can't agree more.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vijay. Any other questions or comments?
I don't see any right now. I guess they're awestruck.
And turns out that I didn't have the wrong date. Next Saturday is in fact the 9th.
Yes.
I knew how to read a calendar. Hey, Gaia.
Good morning. Sandhya, I'd like to say that as a fellow South Asian woman, I'm proud to say that I have you as a backbone in Rotary to help me succeed in the club's future and become a leader like you as well, because we need more women of color in these positions in the future, because women need to be in a place of leadership. And can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. My parents
Okay.
just chose to interrupt because they're not on mute, but that's okay.
Okay.
Keep going, Gaia.
Okay, so I just want to say, like, as a fellow South Asian, I'm very proud to be in Rotary, and women of color need to be in positions of leadership and helping the community. So that's why I wanted to be involved from the very beginning, and I'm on my way to becoming that perspective that I wanted from a long time. And to see fellow women in Rotary is a good thing, as it used to be more of a men's club now, but more women are going to join, and I hope to see more women to join. And I want to take a leadership in encouraging women, especially women of color, to take leadership roles in these organizations.
Thanks, Gaia. I'm so encouraged by your enthusiasm.
We have a question from Adrian. Unmute yourself, please, Adrian.
Yeah, Sandy, great presentation, and I'm very proud of you. I know, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. I'm very proud of you. I know that you've worked very, very, very hard. I know you're always an individual who always did their homework. You're always on top of everything. And what a great reflection of that today. And I'm so glad that you've taken on this role, and you're going to be leading us this year. So my sincere congratulations to you. I do have a question, and the question relates to this year's logo. I wonder, you may or may not know the answer to this, but I'm curious about the artwork. Can you describe or talk a little bit about the meaning of that?
I can talk about some of it, Adrian, and I'm happy to get you a place where you can find more information. So I'll dig deep, and from what I remember from when Jennifer explained it to us, the logo is actually representative of our 5 areas of service, our areas of focus, rather, the things that we do, as well as let me bring it up actually. Hold on one second. The benefit of being able to share your screen. Can you all see my screen again?
Yep.
All right. You don't all need to see what I said, but let's go. So the dots around that circle are representative of our areas of focus. And I'm not going to do it justice like Jennifer did, but this bar here is what's called I believe, a working stick. And it's representative of everything that we do, our hard work, the effort that we put into it. The colors, the green and the purple, some might recognize as the colors of the suffragette movement of years gone by. And that is Jennifer's tip of a hat to that. And as the first woman president of Rotary International. So, and Adrian, I will send you and anyone else who's interested the details on that.
Great. Thanks a lot, Sandy.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you for asking.
Sohail, you have a question. Would you unmute yourself, please?
Thank you, Brian. And I really want to congratulate Cynthia for such a great presentation today. And I have been, I had a chance to work with him at different levels at the district. And I have found him a great leader. And when she came to my club for visioning, I found him a master presenter. And she did it right now. And I congratulate Cynthia for that. And it's great to see you. And it's hard to fill your shoes, Cynthia, going forward.
Thank you, Sohail. District Governor nominee designate Sohail. You will do an amazing job, and I am so proud to be a part of your team.
Hey, Vipan, you have a question, please.
Hi,
So
Dad.
here's a very proud father sitting here and a teary-eyed mother sitting here. So congratulations, Sunday, on your kickoff. So one of the things that your dear uncle over in England wanted me to address with you was, how are you going to find time in an already chaotically busy life? And he used the word delegate, delegate, delegate. Right? So how are you going to go about delegating?
Well, you see, I've got all these things broken up for individual presentations because this is not the first and the last presentation I need to make, but you're tapping into my next one. So I'll share with each one of you a little insight that when I started and agreed to take on this role, which I was very excited to do, I needed to make a commitment to myself. I work, as many of us do, in a full-time role, and I have a family who matters a lot to me, and friends that matter a lot to me, and I needed to make sure that I was going to be able to uphold all my commitments. And I also knew that the role of district governor could consume a fair bit of time. So Rudy's nodding because I actually put together a presentation that outlined my commitments that I made to myself. And a lot of it includes delegating, and not just delegating so that I don't have to do the work, because delegating because I know and want to give opportunity to others to participate in the same things that I've had the opportunity to participate in. I'm a firm believer in the best way to get to know Rotary is to get involved and to do things. And so, Dad, don't worry, I'll come over for dinner. I'll manage my time by making sure that this team of at least 59 people here today and many others all get to be a part of all the amazing things that we're going to do together.
And I look forward to cooking for you and listening to your Rotary stories, Sandhya.
Thank you, Mom. Why do I feel like I'm 10 years old again?
I don't see any hands raised or questions in the question box right now, other than lots of congratulations for Sanjay, which is very appropriate. Are there any other questions?
Folks, thank you for all your kind words. And you know, this room is open because we booked till 10 and there was no way I was going to make you listen to me for an hour. So we have a whole half hour to stay together and talk about all the ways in which you imagine Rotary. And like I said, there are some campaigns coming up, so I won't spoil all the secrets, but by all means, you know, if you've got ways that we can be doing a more amazing job, I'd love for you to stay and exchange your ideas. And Kurt, is that a great idea coming up? Because I see your hand raised.
I hope so. Not really an idea, more of a question nonetheless,
Sure.
But thank you for the presentation. I just wanted to ask, what role do you see technology playing with how Rotary is marketed over the next few years or so coming in the future? What role do you see technology playing?
A big one. We know that we can reach so many people via social media. And so I see a big role for technology. You know, Rotary wouldn't be where we are right now if it weren't for technology. And I think COVID showed us our ability to pivot and adapt to technology pretty quickly. So many of the clubs have used Zoom to meet and stay alive. And I actually think that people are going to be looking for that going forward. They are going to be looking for a way to stay connected to clubs that doesn't necessarily mean them being there in person, but being in person like this. So the short answer, Kurt, is I think technology has a huge role to play. And on that note, we're actually working every day to beef up our technology team. So Kurt, if you've got any interest, you might have just voluntold yourself.
Sunil, you've got a question.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations, Sandhya and the team. And I have a quick answer on the Imagine Rotary theme. And I just want to give you some update on that. The logo of the theme was designed by Ricky Salam, an Australian artist and graphic designer who was specializing in contemporary indigenous art. So just want to give a heads up on that, because he designed also the convention for the upcoming Australia convention. He's also designing the logo for that.
Yes, he did. Thank you, Sunil. Adrian, you're not getting an email from me now.
Mary.
First of all, congratulations, Sandhya. I'm so proud of you. So proud to be a member of your club, and really looking forward to your year. Just curious if you've started making plans on how you're going to visit the districts. Are you going to do it by cluster? Are you going to do it individual clubs? Do you have any plans on that yet?
Yeah, I do actually. So I am continuing on in the cluster visit way of meeting Rotarians across the district. Those dates have actually been shared with all the incoming presidents as well as the assistant governors, those that are identified so far, excuse me. So yeah, we'll be continuing on with cluster visits, and I'll be sharing a little bit more with the president-elects at their session next week around what these cluster visits look like. But for everyone here, they are really intended to be a celebration of everything that Rotary is in everyone's community. I'm there, but it is not about my presentation in so much as it is about sharing all of our stories. So I'm really hoping that whatever these visits end up being, these meetings, hopefully there's something that already exists, because I'm not in the business of creating more work for anybody. But if I can join you at something where we can talk about what makes Rotary amazing and share stories amongst ourselves and with our communities, that would be great. So most of the cluster visits are planned between in the new Rotary year, between that September and sort of January mark. I've got a family wedding to attend to in November, so I'm going to be away for a bit. But yeah, so I'm hoping to see everyone in person, fingers crossed, in the next little while.
Thank you. Romeo.
Hi, Sandhya. I must say congratulations. I know, yep, absolutely. I have a saying, busy people always have time. And the thing is, you are a perfect example of that saying. So, I've always tried to prove myself wrong, and someone like yourself prove that the statement is right. So congratulations, and I am delighted to be part of your support team and making sure that you are successful.
Well, thank you, Romeo. I am looking forward to working with you, continuing to work with you as well.
Okay, next we have a question from Clifford.
Hi, Sandhya. I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about Jennifer Jones' visit to the district. I know she's coming to the Toronto, Mississauga area, but I didn't know what else she was doing. Maybe that if you could give us an overview.
Yeah, absolutely, I can. Thanks for reminding me. So President-elect now, President-elect Jennifer Jones is doing a cross-Canada tour. And it's part of her Imagine Rotary tour. It's all in an effort to really showcase Rotary to our communities and for us to gather together And so she is visiting this area, what we're calling the sort of Southern Ontario hub, which is inclusive of 4 districts, on July the 5th, just after the Canada Day long weekend, where she'll be actually in Ottawa, hopefully meeting with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. So she's coming here, and what she asked for was a day that wasn't filled with meetings or dinners and speeches. What she asked for was a day of action. So in the morning of that day, just after she arrives, the plan is to do a watershed cleanup just along the Humber River. And so let me back up and say that there are central events being held because we know that trekking her across the 401 isn't really feasible. So there are central events being held, which she will be participating in, and then there are satellite events being held in the various districts, which parts of her team will be participating in. So she's bringing along some directors and others. So the central morning event will be a watershed cleanup. Then we'll move into lunch, and the next event will be a Kids for Hunger food packing event in the afternoon. And again, there's a central location in Toronto, and then there's going to be various satellite sites, including in our own district, and some of the folks who are planning that are on this call and nodding. And then in the evening, we are hosting a big fab dinner type idea, which is not going to be fancy, so keep your black tie tucked away, pull out your jeans, we're going to have some fun. There's going to, wear your sweatshirts, there you go, Rudy. We're going to have some fun, and there's going to be a central event hosted in the Toronto area, and then we're again going to plan various events in the local districts for people to participate. So more news is coming out on that. Expect to hear from the team that's organizing that for our district in the coming weeks.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Patricia, Pat, you've got a question.
There. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to Sandhya, and congratulations. I wanted to get a pitch in for one of the biggest reasons behind having club leadership training and the other training events we do. Sandhya, I don't think anybody could ever overestimate the influence that you have had on the training committee and beyond. I've had a great honor of working with you and being mentored by you for probably over 10 years. And we take that forward out into, our various clubs and across the district. But to look up to someone who doesn't just talk, but has the background knowledge so well learned and so correctly learned, that I find that such an inspiration. I know that if I ask a piece of advice from Sandhya or a fact or something, that's the authority I need to get the right answer. And that reflects on all of the training events we have. That's what I want for everybody, that when they are operating in their club or in their home community, that they have that solid foundation of Rotary knowledge, that you are a fine example of that, Sandhya, and it's always been a pleasure to work with you.
Thanks, Patricia. Hey, Patricia, can you tell people about our next opportunity to share ideas and connect together?
You speaking of the R word?
I'm speaking of the R word.
Well, I wasn't going to promote anything until the end of CLT, but
that's all good.
Yeah, I want people to be encouraged in going forward and looking at the opportunity for individual growth. Club leadership training provides role-specific growth, as we all know, but individual growth, starting with who you are as a Rotarian in part 1, how you function as a well-informed Rotarian within your club and the roles you take on, that's in part 2. And then part 3, how you have a role as a Rotarian in the world at large, looking for whatever opportunities are based on your skills and talents and your enthusiasm. But I think RLI provides those building blocks that starting with ourselves. And I would encourage first of all, the presidents-elect that are online here to support their club members in joining in that. And the date you want to remember is May 7th. As I say, after CLT is over, you'll be getting some facts and details from me. But remember that it's part of the building blocks that the training committee works hard on, that you're crazy if you don't take advantage of it, right, Sandhya?
Yep. Thanks,
Yeah.
Patricia.
You're very welcome. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Okay, Brian, anyone else?
I don't see anybody else, Sandhya.
Great. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad that we were able to chat, and there's nothing more than I'd like to see everyone in person and sit across the table from you, and it'll come soon enough.
Well, thank you very much, Sandhya. Thank you very much, Rudy. Again, thank you to everybody who attended this. And as Sandhya mentioned, the room will be open until about 10 o'clock. For those of you who have registered for the international service session, that is about to begin at 10:30 with Rajbir Mann, who's also on this call. Good morning, Rajbir.
Good morning.
You will have to log out and then join that session. If you
That's
have
right.
not yet registered for the session, there is still time. You can register and join this great group and listen to another inspiring presentation, I'm sure. With this, well, thank you very much again for this inspiring presentation, Sandhya, and I'm looking very much forward to working with you and the entire team in the future.
Thanks, Suzanne, and thank you for taking the helm and leading us and putting this all together.
Well, thank you for all the help everybody's giving me.